Hello everyone. So today for our topic lesson we're going to be looking at sink or float. Let's have a listen.
Float, sink, float, sink. What about this metal spoon? What do you think? It sinks. Let's explore, let's find out what floating and sinking's all about. Come and join me, let's find out. Will it sink or float? Let's try something heavy. What about a big old key? Will it float like the leaf? Let's see. Will it sink or float? It sinks. Sink. Float. Sink. Float. Sink, sink, sink. Float, float, float. Floating along like a boat. Some materials sink down, 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 when others just stay on the top floating around. So what's it all about? What makes things sink or float? Armbands, rubber ring, baby swimming chair. Blow them up with air. Paddling pool, beach ball, little blow-up boat. Metal key, money, a hook for your coat. If it weighs the same or less than water pushing up, we call the object buoyant. It stays up, up, up. If it's buoyant, it'll float on by. But if it's not, it'll sink. Bye-bye. We've explored, we've found out what floating and sinking's all about. Come on, let's all shout out. We know what sinks and floats. Sinking and floating, sinking and floating. We know what it's about. Now why don't you try it out?
Well done. So for this session we're going to look at what is floating and sinking. We're going to talk about the objects that float and objects that sink and why. And then we're going to do our own experiment. Okay. Now, this duck is floating. The duck is floating on top of the water. Sometimes we use the word float, and sometimes we use the word floating. This stone is sinking. The stone sinks to the bottom of the water. Now I wonder why some things float and some things sink. This stone is heavy. It's heavier than the water. So this will make the stone sink. The duck is light. The duck is lighter than the water. This will make the duck float. Okay, now it's time for our own experiment. You will need a bowl, or you can use the sink or bath, some objects around your house that you can test with, some water, and the attached worksheet. Here is the worksheet. You will find this in your student folders. Here you can write what the object is that you're weighing and whether it floats or whether it sinks. Now I've had a go at this experiment and I thought we could watch the video together. Okay, for this experiment we're going to see what things sink and float. Now you need to go around your house and you need to find some objects that you can test. I've managed to find an apple, a cork, a spoon and a coin. Now, let's see which ones float or sink. Okay, let's have a look at the apple first. What do you think is going to happen? Do you think the apple will sink or do you think it will float? Let's have a look and see. The apple floats. It floats on top of the water. Well done if you got that right. Okay, let's have a look at the coin next. Do you think the coin will sink or float? Let's have a look. The coin sinks. It sinks to the bottom. Well done if you got that right. Okay, the next thing. Let's have a look at the cork. Do you think the cork will sink or float? Let's have a look. The cork floats. It floats on top of the water. It floats like the apple. Well done if you got that right. Okay, time for the last one. The spoon. Do you think the spoon will sink or do you think it will float? Let's have a look and see. Ready? The spoon sinks to the bottom of the water. The spoon sinks like the coin. Well done if you guessed right.
Did you guess correctly? Did you guess whether the objects would float or sink? Let me know how you got on. Now it's your turn. Go and have a go at finding objects around your house and complete the attached sheet in your student folders. Well done everyone. Topic is finished. See you tomorrow.